This will be part 3 of Zephaniah, and what we're going to do is continue from where I was at. And whoops, what's going on here? And let's get things ready. More lights. This is where I left off at chapter 3, verse 5. But what I want to do is really show you really quick of what editing got done last time. This is the editing here that I've got it cleaned up, and you can take a snapshot and then kind of read it with the other one that you got from the last video, and you can see that I had to divide it. It didn't go together yet. Here and here, this seems to be maybe a third, I believe. Well, I have to look at it when it gets all put together myself, but the object here is we'll continue from here because time ran out and it looked like it was changing. The text was going to change because we were talking about her creator, and I explained that that was Ra, and this is talking about the female goddess here, and it was those that were hers who rebelled against our creator. They defiled Jerusalem. It'd help if I spelled Jerusalem right. And then what it got down here, it was your princes are like lions, so that would have been the king's sons, and like I told you above, they were killed. And your judges are like wolves. Her priests have profaned his house. They meant that they were in his house. They were the ones in control of his house, and they have corrupted his words. And that is what we are doing here, correcting all their words, because they started with words that they did not write. And when you see the text that's being revealed, they witnessed our creator, they talked to our creator talked to them over hundreds of years. So here's the text where I left off, and YV is good. He does no injustice to his. He will not fail, but the unjust knows no shame. Now, it's not really the unjust, it's the ungodly, or it's those evil ones. Let's put down evil ones. I think that's a better word, evil ones. Those are the ones that are against our creators. The evil ones knows the evil. Why they will not fail. This would be 4. For the evil ones, no shame. And it would be he, because this seems to be part of a summary. Example, I was in the other video, I was saying that this text sounds like Zephaniah is pointing his finger and really telling them off of why the prophecy of our creator has come about. And then he looks around and he says, yeah, this is what you're doing wrong, and this is and it's wrote this way that he's waving his finger. So I have to take this he and put down here This way we know that he will and this is our creator, whoops. He will, and it's not cut off. This is why I like to have the hyphen there, because two words really mean really one word. Remove. And that's what he did. Now the words nation is being used awfully loosely here because there's only two tribes left, okay? That their land hasn't been gone. So he will remove our, and at this time it was only one kingdom or one nation, I'm sorry. So our nation and I'm trying to think, he will remove our nation and the now why are they pointing out corner towers? Because that was their great strength. Egypt had came to take them over when Egypt regained power, and there was a king that built towers on the corner, and these towers were large enough that they had weapons up there that they were so well prepared that the Egyptians kind of gave up. So maybe it was buckets that were filled up with tar that wouldn't spread and killed them. Maybe it was buckets of rocks that were being flung around, but they called them something like new weapons or new invented weapons or something like that. So these corner towers to them were their great strength for protecting their city, and the corner towers will be ruined. Will be ruined. Okay, now I'm thinking we got that pretty well cleaned up. I have made their streets desolate. No, he will. He will make. And this is kind of like a summary of what is told in the prophecy from our Creator. He will make your streets our streets. He lives there too. Make it first person. Make our streets desolate with no one passing through. Meaning it'll be so desolate that there's no people there enough for people to stop and do merchant business. No one will pass through. Our cities will be a wasteland, will be laid waste. Our cities will be destroyed, not laid waste, destroyed. We can use one word instead of two. without they're using this as a single person here. Excuse me, let me, can I get out of, nope, I guess you get to watch me wipe my nose. Sorry about that. Without man, and without an inhabitant, it just doesn't read right. Without man, our cities will be destroyed. Well, without an, this would be like living there. Without an inhabitant, without man, our cities will be too destroyed. And will be without man. And I'm thinking, or flock. And that's because they had their own animals, many of them. I mean, that was a big way of life, is to be able to have a herd of rams or a herd of goats. The hides off them were their clothing. So, and it was their meat to eat. And so that was very important. So I'm going to add this as to how desolate it's going to be. And I know the story, and it did get down that there wasn't many people left, so the flocks would have been carried away. Again, has to be, he said. He didn't say this. He told them. Oops. He told you not revere. I'm thinking respect. Respect and honor is usually the way I always describe how we're to be at all times. He told you to obey. I'm looking at the next words. Obey, because if you obey, you have a right. You have righteousness. Those who obey, not him. He told you to obey him and accept his instructions. Now her dwelling place will not be cut off. No, no. To accept his instructions. Now your dwelling places, now your homes will be destroyed. All that I have appointed concerning her. How is this? This verse is out in the middle of nowhere, but they are eager to corrupt. They are corrupt. So her dwellings will not be cut off, according to all that I have appointed concerning her. This is how they switch it, that all of a sudden she's good. So this is them trying to put in words that change it for her. But everything will be destroyed. I don't want to put a double in here is what I'm trying to do here. Because getting doubled, that just makes the reader kind of go back and forth. If it's been said once, it's enough. Okay, so because we already have that. All I have appointed concerning you. Yes. And it's not all, it's everything. I've done so many of these. What happened? My macro didn't work. Okay. I've done so many of these. This is kind of like everything he done is for your way of life. So when you see the word way a lot of times in your text and you're reading it, it has the meaning of the way of life, not so much just a way like it's a path or you went away type of thing. It did get right down to way of life, and it was real good to see that there was a lot of text that confirmed what I said when I was trying to figure that word out in the text here. Everything that he appointed concerning you. Well, yeah. Everything he not appointed but commanded. Commanded concerning us. Us. They were eager to corrupt. They were eager to corrupt every one of them. And this them is important, like it's this. Trying to tie that word so nobody can say it means other than what our Creator has done for our way of life, okay? Our way of life is to enter into heaven. What is the meaning of life? Our meaning of life is to enter into heaven. Well, actually, the meaning of life is to understand we have a Creator. To know we have a Creator. Everything he commanded concerning us, they were eager to corrupt. Every yeah, get rid of this. command concerning us. They were eager to corrupt, and I don't need this. They were eager to corrupt. Wait for me, declares YHVH, for the day. Because this, when I see this, this is like, now does it become prophecy here? For the day when I rise up, and you are my prey. Indeed, my decision is to gather nations and assemble kingdoms. I will pour them out in my indignation and my burning anger. For all the earth will be devoured by my zeal. Now, the whole earth, everyone on earth is not going to get devoured. So, right now, we know that this is not true. Then I will give the people purified lips, that all of them may call on my name, YHVH, to serve him shoulder to shoulder. Now, a lot of the prophets, when they did something like this, they turned around and they always had words that are Jesus is coming. So when it says, wait for me, it would be like, wait for Yah. If you don't know what Yah is, that is the Hebrew word in Psalms 149 that the writer those writers understood that Yah was his name that they give Jesus. Wait for him, declares YHVH, for the day when I rise. It has to be concerning us. They were able, and it does, we are to wait for Yah. This would be red text. Yeah. And it's not declares, it's was commanded. Commanded YHVH. Okay, now we've got for the days. And this is going to be, because it's his promise, this is the prophecy, so it has to be capital letters, meaning Jesus is coming. For the days when he raises, he sends him. For his, which would be his, decision sends him for his decision is to gather people together, although I guess because this needs to be changed to kingdoms, okay, because yeah, you know that Jesus is to gather all the people to enter into his kingdom. So to gather, his decision is to gather from kingdoms, not form, from kingdoms. This is just not true, and I can't put it. And this has got text missing here, if these go together. Because he wasn't pouring out an invasion of burning anger after Jesus. It would have to be that you'd have to understand who did this, that he's going to pour out his indignation, not all his burning anger, he'd consume the universe. To serve him shoulder to shoulder would be Jesus. So these words that are here are also out of place. They have to be removed. What I do when I don't know whether they go someplace, I put this as a reminder for me to re-examine that text. And I'll do that when I clean it up. Or maybe I won't, because this is part 3. And maybe I need a part 4. Or no, this is, I don't know if this is part, yeah, it's part 3. So then I will give people purified lips, and all of them may, then they don't may, they call, for them to call on me. Then I'll give the people's purified lips. For everyone to call on me. This then I will give them the people, then I will give people not purified lips. Then I will give decision to gather from all kingdoms, to give him that every one of them. Okay, this was out. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out how this verse goes with this here verse. He sends him, for his decision is to gather from kingdoms. Now here it has to be kingdoms because we've got that everyone should call on me and serve him shoulder to shoulder. And so this here, I was having trouble with, just got rid of that everyone can, not may, but can. And I would be just, and I would be saying that I'm changing this word. That everyone can call on me and serve him shoulder to shoulder. They aren't to bring him offerings, so he knows that that's not true. This is not really important. This has nothing else to hook to. And they will serve him shoulder to shoulder. In those days, and it's being prophesied about them. In those days, they will feel no shame. In those days, what am I got them for? They will have no shame of him. They will feel, they will have no shame of him. I'm trying to think, is the word feel, okay, now I gotta watch what I do here when I go over to this new screen. I've got to remember that it's important to come back. I ruined like 8 hours or almost 1 hour. So, okay, this is what I want to do with this. It's, let's see, this is 3. Let's see if it defaults. No. Nope, I don't want to do this. Get rid of that. What I want to do is, okay, 3:11. And now, feel are these words. Okay, what I'm seeing is when you look up here, when I click from here to here, they're the same word, and then the word no is in between. So these are both 2 words, and that's kind of like what I'm doing, getting rid of one and just using one. So what word would I use that says I'm not making any difference here? Shame is the one Okay. So change back. Have no shame of him. Wow. Maybe I should eat something. But I think that changes my voice too. So I'm learning that you just have to drink water when you're doing these videos. I've tried drinking other things. My voice gets, anyways. Those, in those days, they will have no shame of him. Okay. No, I was trying to say, this is not, this is reading like that's the end of that. And this starts something else. So, we have text missing. Now we go on, continue. Because of all your deeds, which you have rebelled against me, then I'll remove you from your midst, your proud exalting ones, exalting ones. You will never again be haughty on my holy hill. There's no mountains in Israel. This never happened. Okay. Never again behind, but they did. They, after Jerusalem was set up, then because we have the advantage of knowing the next what's going to happen when Jesus comes, that we know that they did the same thing, left and corrupted the next house that he had set up. Because of all their deeds, they have rebelled against me. I will remove them from proud exalted ones, but I will leave among you a humble and low people. No, this is not at Jesus' time. This is now referring back to the text here that I did, and this is why I stopped it, and separated it here last time. Precept preparing the house, and they have corrupted his words. Why he is good and does no injustice, he would not fail. The evil ones know no shame. Remove our nation, and the corner trials will be ruined. See, this is already here. He's already destroyed. We are to wait for Yah and decision, shoulder to shoulder. And then, yes, this is something different. This is another piece. I found many times they were grabbing just pieces to put in so they could use the same like words. And they also, as you can notice, that they knew the style that the text was in was like this to begin with. And then you can see all the people from then on adding all kinds of words into the text later, because they didn't know that there was this hidden format in there, or if they did, they didn't care. They didn't think it would be found again. And that's why this is Jesus's prophecy. I am revealing the truths about Jesus. So this is what's going on when I'm doing this, that you're witnessing this, and that's why I'm recording it for history. Okay, 40 minutes. I'm gonna need a part 4, but it might not be that long. Because of your deeds, you have rebelled against me. And let's just do this, because this would be like as if he is talking. This is not something like wagging your finger at it. Because of all your deeds, you have rebelled against me. Because of all your actions, not deeds. This would be actions. Because of everyone's actions, and maybe actions is not the best word. Let's see. Because of everyone leaving me, you have rebelled against me. Because of everyone's deeds, because of everyone's actions, they have rebelled against me. Not then. Now I will remove. Now I'll remove. Now I'll remove them from your midst. Now I'll remove them, and I would say before him, because they were supposed to be before him at all times. Now I will remove them from before me. And that's kind of changing this word, so. This, I think I'm confusing this with being exalted, so this has to be almost kind of like the opposite of God. Oh, whoops. Exalted. So what kind of words? Gloating and glory ones. Rejoicing ones. Your proud rejoicing ones. Your proud gloating ones. Okay. I'll remove them from me, from before me. Your proud gloating ones. Yeah, I'm going to put in gloating. Your proud gloating disbelievers. I think that's not spelled right. Yep, okay. I pronounce words differently than what I can spell them. or see when I spelled something. I failed English, by the way, all the way, 100% E in every class I had from 7th grade on. Now I will remove them from before me, your proud, gloating disbelievers. But I will leave among you a humble and lowly people. And that would be his poor elder that they didn't want to take, and they knew they wouldn't make the 700-mile journey to Babylon. And this is what they do a lot. They disconnect so you read just what they want you to read. And they will take refuge in me. This in me. See, it's our Creator speaking, so he definitely wouldn't be speaking of himself here. They will take refuge in me. I'm going to say, and the remnant, and the remnant of Israelis. There's a difference between a Jew and an Israeli. An Israeli is one who believes Jesus. A Jew is one who does not believe Jesus. So this is the difference in the text here and all the texts that I do. And the remnant of Israelis. Will do no wrong yet. Well, because of their Israelis, they stay true to Israelis. Yes, they will do no wrong. They will tell no lies, which is kind of like what's going on. I mean, you don't know about the female goddess, and that's what they've done. They lied to you. They're deceiving you by tricking you in the text to think, and you are just reading the sugar out of the text, because a lot of this stuff I'm pointing out, you're kind of like, wow, I didn't know that, and yes, it does sound right when you say that. And that's the problem, is that by corrupting all the text, they are deceiving, they're lying to you. So they will tell no lie. They will do no wrong and tell no lies. And, yeah, I guess it has to be and. I'm putting too many doubles. I would be putting a double they. And tell no lies, nor have a deceitful tongue. And you are new here. The tongue speaks, okay? The lips utter is the way their thinking was back there. And the mouth would speak, okay? Nor have deceitful tongues, nor have a deceitful tongue. I will take away his judgments against you. And this would be referring back to Jesus. So this text might have to go above some of this text, that's all. That it's separated, and that's what sometimes I've done. I've taken text, put it up there, and it really reads like it belonged there. So when I say it was grabbed from over here, they just grabbed it from here and switched it around. Because they had tricked people at the time. They were being taught in their gathering places, not synagogues, but their gathering places, the text, and they would read it. So you just can't come in and change it one day and all the people say, well, wait, what about this part? And it just go down a little farther and start reading it. See? So they were that corrupt, and they deceived people unbelievably, deceiving, just as today. Yeah, okay. Because let me go up here and see. Okay, and in those days they will have no shame of him. They will shout for joy. Daughters of Zion. They will shout for joy and shout for... I don't know if that's just a double, you know, because this is just not true. Or not needed, let's put it this way. They will shout for joy and shout. I don't want to use their words, because that's just a shout. They will shout joy. The shouting of joy from his Israelis. Rejoice and not gloat or gloat. Rejoicing and not gloating with all their heart. This doesn't need to be here, so let's tie this together. And this would mean this like this. Shout for joy, Israelis. Shout for joy, Israelis, and rejoice with all your heart. So and rejoice with all your heart. I guess I could leave that. Your heart. YV will take away YV will. See, now this is not, this comes back that it's not being a prophecy, where I had to have the word me here. So this needs to be separated. Okay. Yeah, it's going to need a part 4. Yeah, it'll be able to be cleaned up the next time. Yeah, because a lot of people are just going to go right to the end and see what those are, and not so much once they've seen this editing, they're going to say, okay, well, I trust the guy, and then let's get to the end and see what these look like. And I will have them in a PDF at the end of when I'm doing these. YV will take away this judgment against you. It would be this. This judgment against us. Now, you got to understand that when it was over and they were done, those that were true to our Creator, they were the captives. So they kept doing what they were to do, and that is to obey our Creator. And you've seen what happened in Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar, how our Creator let himself be known to a nation, so everybody 1,000 miles around all of a sudden knew about our Creator. So they were wondering when is Yah going to be, when is he going to establish Jerusalem again? So this guy seems to know this answer, that YV will take away this judgment against us. He has cleared away your enemies. This is not really good. This might be just a couple words out of place. He will clear away our enemies. The King of Israel, of Israel's. He has cleared away. Oh, he has cleared away your enemies, King of Israel. YV will be in your midst. You will not fear disaster no more. This is him finger wagging. This is not prophecy. He has cleared away your enemies, King of Israel. And this would be Jesus. So we have to make sure that this is how the text now reads, or how some of these got to connect together. He will clear, he has cleared away his enemies for the King of Israel. He has cleared away his enemies. Oops. Well, actually, it'd have to be like this, right? I mean, he has cleared away your enemies, King, our King for Israel. Our King for Israelis. Because you can't say this is a kingdom anymore, so it has to be for the people. He has cleared away your enemies for the King of Israel. And then this would be back to your, this would be back to yours. Okay, stop screaming at me. I got it. He has cleared away your enemies for the King for Israelis. This is not true. They were in there with them crucifying people by the side of the road to control the corruption and the evil. In that day it will be said in Jerusalem, do not let your hands fall limp. This, in that day, it will be said, I'm going to put in Jerusalem, it will be said in Jerusalem, do not be afraid, my people. In that day it will be said in Jerusalem. In that day it will be said. It will be said, Jerusalem, do not be afraid. It will say, do not be afraid in Jerusalem. I'm going to, because Zion does refer to as, and I'm just moving it from here to here. Do not be afraid in Jerusalem. Okay. For YV, our creator, will send a victorious warrior. That's what kings were supposed to be. Okay, 1 hour, 4 minutes. Okay, gotta stop there. But you can see that this text is now separate. We got pieces, and I'm thinking they're going to go together too, just the way I'm thinking in my mind. But I've got this much more to go, and then start putting the pieces together. Now I will clean up this text because it does take maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Don't want that to be in the next video. But anyways, this one's done for right now, and I will just leave it here and I'll start another video here.